Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Wednesday evening, April 1st, 2020. Praying for your safety out there, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I know I said I was going to be logging off, but when I get those a spurt of energy, I like to go back to back with the videos to, just to keep me from having to do one every day, every other day. And due to the fact that we have a pandemic affecting our country and abroad, I figure it's obligated to bring you the said information of things that's going on to keep you in the know, since some of you are not watching the news and not staying inclined to said information. And please know that you need to stay in the know about what is going on in this country, even when there is not a pandemic. You need to watch the news. You need to stay afloat of what is going on in the world. I'm being serious, because there's some things that I'm baffled that you all are asking questions. I'm not trying to be rude, but this is not making sense that you all are not staying up on things that's going on pertaining to your livelihood, especially those of you who I'm assuming want to survive in this country. Please do yourself a favor. Stay in the know of what's going on, because you're going to need it, especially if things get worse. Right now, there is an epidemic that is affecting Knox County, Tennessee, with suicide deaths. I'm going to bring you that said information, but before I go into that locally, I will bring you national information, because obviously Mr. Trump has spoke on that issue. I don't know if it's going to be in this said article. I just chose one that was recent, because I like to bring a storyline that has been reported recently. Right now, if you need verification for the storyline, please log on to News 1. Coronavirus-related suicide surfaced amid increased anxiety. This was reported 1 day ago. People's mental health has been taking a collective toll in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. Along with the tens of thousands of deaths happening across the world, the virus has caused economic struggles due to businesses closing indefinitely and major events being pushed back or canceled altogether. Such stressors have caused suicide reports to surface around the globe, along with an increase in suicide calls across the U.S. In Italy, a 34-year-old nurse committed suicide after learning she tested positive for the coronavirus. Lord have mercy. She was terrified that she infected others while in the line of duty, according to DailyMail.com. In the UK, a 19-year-old waitress committed suicide over fears of the mental health impacts from isolation due to the coronavirus, according to the New York Post, a few days before she was found unresponsive. The teen warned relatives that she couldn't deal with her world closing in, plans being canceled, and being stuck inside during the coronavirus pandemic. In the U.S., things have been just as bleak, with the New York Post reporting a man with cancer hanging himself in a Manhattan hospital after he realized he tested positive for the coronavirus. Los Angeles is one place that witnessed an increase in suicide crisis hotline calls, according to DailyMail.com. Dee Dee Hirsch Suicide Crisis Line has received more than 1,500 calls about the coronavirus in March, which is 75 times more than the previous month. Dee Dee Hirsch operates one of the largest suicide line call centers in the United States, and they warned that the number of calls could grow exponentially over the next couple of weeks as people confront the realities of lost loved ones and lost jobs. The group told DailyMail.com that the top concerns among callers have been anxiety, stress, fear of eviction, inability to pay utilities, unemployment, health concerns, and losing loved ones to the virus. We've taken over 1,500 calls already in March, just specifically related to the coronavirus, and I do believe that will continue to increase, said Lynn Moore, Senior Vice President of Clinical Operations for Dee Dee Hirsch Mental Health Services. Our history with things like this, like in the 2008 recession, the first couple of weeks, it's a little hard to gauge call volume, because everybody's in shock, taking care of their basic needs first. Then the weeks after are usually when we start to see the call volume really increase. 2 weeks from now, we're probably going to see a big increase as the fear, the anxiety builds. As the death toll from coronavirus rises, we would expect that. The charity collected data showing that among the 1,519 callers who talked about COVID-19, 1 in 5 communicated a desire to kill themselves. Anxiety or stress was the number one concern for 43% of the people, followed by health concerns for 25%, relationship concerns for 21%, and loneliness or isolation for 19%. The callers worried about COVID-19 tended to be older as well, with 37% age over 45, according to the charity data. More callers tended to be women as well, as 66%. We're not sure yet what that's about, Moore said. Preliminary data is showing that they tend to be more responsible for the kids who are at home now, and they are probably the ones stocking up on supplies and tend to be the ones that take on that caretaker role. Morris explained that the crisis line hasn't seen an increase in the total number of calls. However, the calls related to the coronavirus have surged. When the reality hits of unemployment, people's kids home for a longer time, people feeling they're running out of food or supplies, or God forbid somebody in their household gets sick with the virus, that's what's really going to hit. And that's when we'll see the call volume rise more so. Suicide hotline groups in other states are also witnessing a surge of calls. In Boston, a helpline backed by the nonprofit group Samaritans said it received around 350 calls a day over the course of a week. This is 100 more calls than they typically have on a given day, according to the Boston Globe. A spokeswoman at the National Crisis Text Line told the Globe that they handled 6,000 conversations last week, about twice as many as usual. In Portland, Oregon, Chief Jamie Resch held a news conference and said that 911 calls reported suicide threats or attempts had increased 41% over the same period last year. A North Dakota-based nonprofit called First Link, which runs a national suicide prevention hotline, said call volumes have jumped 300%. Meanwhile, call volumes have also doubled in Idaho. Lord have mercy. And you know that's destitute land there. Whew. Did Hershey's suicide crisis line suggested that those feeling overwhelmed by the coronavirus crisis should seek ways to connect with others via phone calls or video apps just to check in or to spend time with family while at home? Now that's what I'm talking about. Excuse me, I misspoke. Dee Dee is her name. Dee Dee Hirsch Suicide Crisis Line suggested that those feeling overwhelmed with the virus should seek phone calls and video apps just to check in, to spend time with family while at home. The group also recommended regular exercise, sticking to a routine while cooped up in the home, and limiting alcohol consumption. The charity said giving to others, like running errands for people, gifting a grocery card to someone in need, or even showing gratitude to health workers can also be good for your own mental health. If you or someone you know is having suicidal thoughts, you can call Dee Dee Hirsch's 24-hour suicide hotline, crisis line at 1-800-273-8255. They also have a line specifically geared towards people stressed out about the coronavirus, which can be reached at 1-800-985-5990. Dee Dee Hirsch is part of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline's 24/7 crisis chat service, which can be reached at www.deedehirsch, which is HIRSCH.org/chat. Okay, now that said information is brought to you by News One. Sorry, 8 minutes in. I know it's a lot to take on this situation, but I wanted to bring you some sad information here locally. I had to scan hold on one second. Sorry to do this. The jumping screens. I was trying to find the latest. Okay, this will be pertaining to Knox County, Tennessee, the area where I reside. This is by Tenn News, if you need verification. Knox County seeing an increase in suspected suicides during coronavirus pandemic. Mayor Glenn Jacobs said he was shocked, and it made him wonder if they were handling this the right way. And this was published on March 27, 2020. Knox County is seeing a disturbing trend in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. Mayor Glenn Jacobs said on Friday that the Regional Forensic Center examined 9 suspected suicide cases, 8 of which are from within Knox County in the past 48 hours alone. That's 10% of the total number of suicides from all of last year, when there were 199 confirmed or suspected suicides from across the region and 83 in Knox County. That number is completely shocking. It makes me wonder if we are doing now is really the best approach, Mayor Jacobs said. We have to determine how we can respond to COVID-19 in a way that keeps our economy intact, keeps people employed, and empowers them with a feeling of hope and optimism, and not desperation and despair. The director of the Knox County Health Department was visually emotional at the daily press conference Friday as she spoke about these sobering numbers. Now more than ever, we need to be kinder and gentler with ourselves and with each other, Dr. Martha Buchanan said. If you are struggling, I encourage you to reach out to your pastor, friend, call the hotlines. She said she knows the decisions Knox County leads have made to stop the spread of the coronavirus are hard, and the people who have made the decisions are struggling with that. But she emphasized these are the decisions that will keep people safe and stop the spread of coronavirus. She wanted to remind everyone that the great majority of people recover from coronavirus and many don't get that sick. The biggest concern, she said, is for the cases that are so severe they need hospitalization. Find a way to connect with each other, she said, mentioning that she was using FaceTime to see friends when she can't physically be there with them. Dr. Buchanan explained that the county's social distancing and self-isolation measures are an attempt to prevent the spread of a virus that's new to humans. She said that since humans have no immunity built up to COVID-19, a person can infect several more than they would if they had the flu, since most people have an immune system that recognizes and can fight the flu. Well, that's good information to know because I hadn't heard that. Since more people can get infected, the virus has a higher chance of traveling to at-risk populations. The measures are a necessary way to protect the people who are most vulnerable among the community, even if symptoms may be negligible for many other people, she said. At some point, we're going to beat this thing, and then we're going to go on, and we still have to build a great community, and we still will be the best place to live, Mayor Jacobs said. He added, we're going to get through this. And said information is revealed of hotlines that you can call in this said article by Channel 10 News. And so they have a spike of suicide deaths in Knox County. That has been the subject the past week here in this area. And I think it's sad. And Mr. Jacobs, for some of you who do not know him, he was a professional wrestler in the wrestling game. And he went by Kane, as most of you will know of the wrestling arena and the people who wrestle professionally. He was a wrestler. He also was in a horror movie years back, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, for many of you who remember that. Remember that movie? It was a good movie, scary movie. I like scary movies. So anyway, that's just for those of you who don't know this guy. He is currently a Knox County mayor. There is a Knoxville City mayor, and then there is a Knoxville County mayor. And Mr. Jacobs is the Knox County mayor. Glenn Jacobs is his name. And he gave a press conference talking about the high rate of suicides, which obviously mirror the same amount from last year, when there was no coronavirus. So please keep your friends and neighbors in your thoughts and prayers. Check on people, call people. I know you can't visit. Many of you weren't visiting people when there was no corona, which is a problem in this country and abroad. People are not staying in tune with people and visiting people anymore. You're relying on texting only. I don't believe in texting people. I think texting is lazy. It's a lazy form of communication. And to me, it leads me to think you don't know how to talk. That's just my personal feeling on texting. It's a lazy way to communicate with people. I don't believe in that texting people in the same house. Why? You got 6,000 to 7,000 square feet in your house. You need to text somebody. You know, most of you don't have no house that big. So why are you texting somebody? Whatever happened to just hollering downstairs? Or just hollering, period. Hey, your food's ready. Hey, telephone. Hey, we're getting ready to leave. Come on with all that. I mean, I'm being serious. We have become a lazy society now with social media and the modern technology, and we have taken advantage of this technology and used it and abused it. And now you see People have lost their minds or losing their minds because they're cooped up in their house, their apartment. They can't go anywhere. They can't talk to anybody. They can't go to their home. They can't come to their home. They can't go to bars, functions, outings. And now they're about to crack up. And I think it's sad that a person would have a low frame of mind and self-dignity that they would want to kill themselves because they can't go anywhere. I understand that's going to get lonely. That I understand. But wanting to kill yourself is a bit extreme. Because worst case, you could at least step outside your front door and look outside. It's not like somebody's holding you hostage in your house. You can still go out on your patio, your balcony, your backyard, your front yard, your garden, as they say in the UK. You all understand what I'm saying. You cannot let this demon disease mess with your mindset to where it will cause you to freak out, flip out, act violent, and or take your own life and or commit homicide. Let's go there. I'm just keeping it real. You people have got to stay in tune with your emotions. We all are going to get frustrated, want to scream, want to holler, stomp, but don't kill yourself. You're worth more than that. And you're giving the enemy permission to steal your soul, and you don't want that. The devil has enough friends. He don't need no new ones. And I'm just keeping it real. Love yourself. This is a time to reflect. As this comedian said today on the news show, this is a time to watch TV. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy TV. I can't think of his name, but he's very famous. He's an older white gentleman. A lot of people know him. But he was funny and he was telling the truth. Enjoy this time that you did not have. This time you couldn't enjoy TV shows, programs because you had to work, busy with your children. Now you have all the free time to surf the web, watch TV shows, TV series. You have no reason not to zone out, enjoy free time, peace and quiet. Enjoy this time. Don't let this virus hold you hostage as if you have to be bunkered down miserable. Now, some of you may have a lot of children, so that will take up a lot of your time because you're now home with them. And they're busybodies and they're into everything. And this is the time for you to bring some constructive ideas and activities to the table for your kids, because you see they are depending on you and they need you to stay lucid and focused because they are just children and they need your guidance at this point, okay? So you need to try to keep your cool, an even temperament, and do what's best for your child and also for yourself, because without you being sane, they can't cope. So always remember that. Children watch everything, they hear everything, and they mimic what they see. Okay? It's going to be all right. But I want you all to pray for your friends and your family. And if you are not a praying person, honey, start praying. I'm not a Bible thumper, but I'm telling you, it goes a long way. And this is a time that some of you may need to come closer to Jesus. If you didn't know him, now's a good time to seek him out and find out who he is and what he is about, because he is vainglorious, honey. And let me tell you, your mindset will change once you get a relationship with God. Yes, I believe that. Whatever denomination you might want to venture to later on when churches open back up, that is to your choosing. But right now, just do a little investigation about him. See what you can find out about him. Because he's good and he's able. And he might be able to help you if you let him in, let's say. Because I know what he can do. But if you let him in, he might be able to help with some of the anxieties and fears you have right now. Ill feelings, ill will, bad attitudes, temperaments, fears, insecurities. Because as I stated, this isn't a time for you all to go bonkers and take your own life or exact revenge or harm to others. Act crazy with your children, violent with your children, going off, going ham. This isn't the time for that. You all have got to keep yourself lucid and sane right now, because there are people depending on you to act accordingly. Pray, please pray, because this too shall pass. And I feel sorry for anyone that is thinking of taking their own life because they feel cooped up in their home. They have got to reach out with other people. and talk to other people. And they've got to find things to entertain their time while they are inside. I don't have a problem with being inside. Of course, it's going to get old, but I find thousands of things to enjoy, such as resting, sleeping, drinking coffee, looking off my balcony at the stream and the trees, listening to the birds chirp. I can listen at that all day long and feel humbled and thankful because that lets me know I'm alive, that I can hear the birds chirping. Do you understand what I'm saying? I feel humbled and grateful to take a bath. You see, I give thanks for the little things. Amen. To eat and drink and slumber. Amen. To turn over sideways in the bed. Amen. Get up and walk and talk. Amen. You see where I'm going with that? Turn on that Roku and act like I'm in third heaven. You better ask somebody about the Queen. Honey, bye. Between the phone and messages with people and sending things back and forth and that TV with numerous channels and information, YouTube, there's no way in the world I could be bored, and nor should you. This is a time to now elevate your mind, your spirit, learn something new about the world besides the coronavirus. This is a time to reflect on yourself, others, your disposition, other things going on in the world, learning different and new things, and enjoying peace of mind despite the devilment that is circulating outside. Corona can't have it all, and you can't give it to her. You know I call her a sheep. Don't pay me no mind. Praying for those feeling bad and down right now. Keep them in your prayers. Call people. Let them know you're thinking about them. Send them a text. But don't let that be your only way of communicating with people. Video chat with people, even if they say, well, my hair ain't combed. I ain't got no makeup on. Just tell them, hey, let me see your face. Let me see how you're looking. I just want to know you're okay. That's all. That's all. Stay in the know, America. And those abroad, call your friends and family and associates. If you like social media, put up a simple post to let people know you're okay, you're breathing, you're all right. And pray. And ask God to remove this demon, because he surely will. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for joining me. God bless you, America. God bless those abroad. Praying for our little ones, our children, the pets as well. I will bring you an update to those said stories pertaining to the children, the baby that just passed in Connecticut, and those who have pets been afflicted with this virus. So you all need to stay in the know and be mindful of your children and be mindful of your pets. Go by the guidelines that have been implemented by the state and the national government to distance yourself from others and keep your hands washed. God bless you, America. Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate everything. My fans, those who stop in and just check me out, I appreciate that. Until the next time, this is Everyday Shenanigans. Good night.